Guys, it's your girl T, and I want to go ahead and shout out that Laker girl on Twitter. She was one of the first ones to send me this crazy story, and it's coming from Michigan. What's going on is that you have a 12-year-old boy. His name is Jamarion Lawhorn. He has been arrested for stabbing a 9-year-old. His name is Michael Verkerke, and from what he's saying is that he planned this. He didn't know Michael at all. Michael was on the playground playing, and he literally went up to him and stabbed him. This whole situation is just extremely disturbing because of the ages of the kids. I'm going to go ahead and play you guys the news clip right now, and I will come back with the rest of my commentary.
Why he stabbed and killed a 9-year-old boy. 12-year-old Jamarion Lawhorn told police it's because he's bad, gets in trouble a lot, and does stupid things. The transcript of the boy confessing to the murder of 9-year-old Connor Verkerke is part of the evidence filed today in Kent County Circuit Court. WZZM 13's Phil Dawson has been reviewing the documents.
Well, Juliet, according to the detective who questioned him, 12-year-old Jamarion Lawhorn decided he was going to kill someone about a year ago. It was part of his suicide plan. He wanted to die, and he was going to take someone out with him. Before he started stabbing him in the back, he says he'd never even seen 9-year-old Connor Verkerke before.
The knife was dropped in our front lawn here, right in this area here, just laying here.
Court documents indicate the knife police say 12-year-old Jamarion Lawhorn used to murder 9-year-old Connor Verkerke was an 8-inch steak knife he took from home. He told police he carried the knife at his side while he walked a half-mile to the Pine Brook Village manufactured housing community looking for a victim.
The kid seemed really at the end of his rope.
According to the confession now on file in court and statements he made to witnesses, 12-year-old Jamarion Lawhorn wanted to die. He said he'd swallowed some pink pills in his mother's medicine cabinet.
He said he overdosed on some drugs and he wanted to kill himself. Nobody loves him.
For at least a year, Lawhorn told officers he was planning suicide and murder. When he died, he wanted to take someone out with him.
He told the 911 operator that I stabbed someone, please pick me up, I want to die.
Glen Stacy says he was working outside his house when Lawhorn walked up, borrowed his phone, and calmly called 911 and told the operator what he'd done.
That he stabbed someone, and I want you to pick me up because I want to die. I'm sick of living in this world right now.
But Lawhorn didn't die. 9-year-old Connor Verkerke, the boy he admits he stabbed several times, bled to death from his wounds. In his report, the arresting officer says Lawhorn was waiting when they came to get him.
The kid walked towards him with his arms out, said, I stabbed the kid, and take me.
He walked out to the street like this. Take me, I'm ready. Very sad. I was very...
His mother told detectives Jamarion didn't get into trouble any more than other boys, but she did say he used to play with fire and once burned up her bed. Prosecutors are charging the boy with open murder as an adult.
All right, so you guys just watched the news clip, and this entire story is just disturbing, and I've been following up with it. They're saying that they're going to charge him with first-degree murder as an adult. His stepmom even spoke out recently and basically said that she never saw any warning signs and there was nothing wrong with him from what she saw.
From the mother of the suspect's half-brother, Troy.
Yeah, very emotional night, but to the suspect, Jamarion Lawhorn. We spoke to that woman, and she says that 12-year-old murder suspect has spent years trying to escape what she calls bullies. Now, that's a trek that sent him out to New York last year, where he recently moved. He's only been back in Michigan since June, and she says Jamarion and her son, Jacoby, they have the same father. So Jamarion has always been a part of her life. So she said right now, it's really hard trying to understand how someone she calls polite could do something like this.
If I didn't know Jamarion, I would probably feel exactly the same way they feel. Like, this is, a lot of people, even on your website, are saying Jamarion's a monster, which I know he's not.
Ashley Flint lives in New York. She says this is her son, Jacoby, next to his older half-brother, Jamarion, someone Jacoby looked up to.
Whenever he came to New York, he would stay with us, and he, we did everything together. He has another brother that lives in Michigan with him. They stayed at our house, and we just would go places and have fun, and they always wanted to be around me because we had a lot of fun together.
Flint said she was in a relationship with Jamarion's father for several years, and Jamarion would visit New York frequently. She says last year Jamarion was getting into physical altercations at a school here in West Michigan, so he moved out of his mother's home and went to live with his father in Geneva, New York.
When he left Michigan, he was fighting in school, and it was mainly because other children taunted him or picked on him. He didn't think it would be like that in New York.
Flint says although Jamarion didn't get into much trouble while in New York, he felt lonely, not knowing as many people. So last month, the 12-year-old moved back to Kentwood, where he's now charged as an adult for the murder of 9-year-old Connor Verkerke, who was stabbed to death at a playground. And while many questions are now swirling about Jamarion, Flint tells Fox 17 she never saw any behavior that alarmed her.
I would feel bad for any child put in a situation like that. I mean, especially one that's always been so, in my presence, always been so nice and loving towards others, polite.
Flint says her heart also breaks for Verkerke's family.
But then his real mom said that he had burned her bed before. I just feel like for this young boy who is 12 years old to have planned all this out, to be so calm and calculated to walk up to an adult and say, I need to use your phone, and then tell the dispatch that he stabbed somebody. I don't feel like this is his first kill. I feel like he's probably been killing animals for the past few years. I just feel like this little boy has all types of issues. And of course, hindsight is 20/20, but there's something really disturbing about this kid. This little boy definitely had all types of issues that I think the family members either ignored or that they missed or made excuses for. And I think that's why a lot of times we have to pay closer attention to a lot of kids. A lot of kids are out here crying out for help. And unfortunately, when they don't get that help that they're out here seeking, they end up manifesting that in other ways. But this is just really disturbing that he decided to stab this 9-year-old boy. And this boy, from everything I've read online and from all the comments, he was a fun-loving kid. He had lots of friends, no issues, didn't get into any fights. So it's just really, really sad that his life was cut short by a 12-year-old child, who was just clearly mentally disturbed and who clearly had a lot of issues going on with himself. We'll probably end up putting him in a juvenile facility until he's about 18 and then ship him off to adult prison. But he doesn't understand that he done got himself into a world of trouble. And for him to have been planning this out for months, it's just really, really disturbing. I feel like there had to be a lot more signs there that the parents missed. They were just so busy shipping him back and forth between Michigan and New York that it seemed like they were missing a lot of signs that he was out there crying out for help. And I also feel like a lot of these medications, these psychotropic drugs that they put these kids on, I also feel like a lot of these drugs play a part in a lot of these kids just acting really, really bizarre and doing all these crazy killings. A few months ago, we had the 2 girls in Wisconsin who were looking for Slender Man. They ended up stabbing one of their best friends, but thank God she didn't end up dying. It's just really disturbing when you hear about kids this young going out their way to, kill other children. We didn't hear about all this nonsense when we were growing up, but it seems like this is starting to hit the mainstream more and more, what a lot of these young kids out here stabbing, shooting, and hurting each other. Anyways, go ahead, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this entire disturbing situation. All right, deuces.